Hi guys, welcome to day 2 of the Healthy Habit Lab. This is our 5-day class and 21-day accountability group in our Facebook event. If you're seeing this and you're not in the Facebook event, click the link in the description and you can join, you can catch up. So day 1 of our core 4, we've got our core 4 habits. Day 1, we're talking about water. So why is water intake, getting in more water, so important? So the majority of us, almost all of us, aren't drinking enough water. I myself struggle to drink enough water. I've got a couple times in the day where I'm really good. I've got a habit that's incorporated, but still I need to drink a lot more water. So I'm excited about adding this habit in. Why water? So it is actually the simplest way to move the needle on your health. So if you want to have glowing skin, you want to increase your energy, you want to have better digestion, you want to have better poops, you want to increase your metabolism, then adding in more water, adding in an adequate amount of water can really help. We're going to touch on a couple things today. We're going to touch on triggers, so how to actually be able to remember to add that water in so that you can turn that into a habit. I'll share some examples of what has worked for me and some tips and tricks. First of all, what will your triggers be? I want you to think about that. I'm going to share some examples so you can think about personally how you're going to set this up for your 21-day accountability challenge. How are you going to set that up so you remember? First, actually, I'll share some tips. So one big thing is buy yourself a nice water bottle or go through your cupboards and pick out your favorite water bottle. I find if I have a glass of water, I'm probably not as likely to drink it as quickly as if I have like a tumbler with a straw or something like a Swell bottle. So this is what I'm using right now. This shape, I seem to drink it a lot more quickly. It's so funny how it's just the different way of drinking it. You drink it a lot quicker. This is one of my favorites too. This is actually in our giveaway. So if you saw day 1, you'll know. If not, if you missed it, I'll just mention. Just post done below this video or our daily posts that you've watched the video or looked at the post and checked out the workbook and done your homework. It just takes a couple minutes. So write done on each of the posts or share more information on your plan and you'll be entered into the draw at the end. So this is just one of them. This actually comes along with the prize winner. It gets both the journal and this water bottle. First of all, get a nice water bottle. It could be something where you can track what you're drinking, or it's just something nice that you're gonna take with you or have on the counter. So that's one tip. Glass or stainless steel is best. Make sure it's on the counter or it's in front of you is another tip. So sometimes I'll have this ready. Sometimes I'll have a jug. I've got a glass jug that I can set on the counter, and so I'll just fill it up in the morning. I think it's a 2-liter jug. So I can kind of track it from that. If I'm going to be home all day, sometimes I do that. Or if I want to start adding in some lemon, if I'm sick of just plain water, some lemon slices, lime slices, you're a lot more likely, I find that I'm a lot more likely to drink it if it looks pretty on the counter and it's a lot tastier. Other ideas to flavor your water are maybe a drop or 2 of essential oil, lemon or lime slices, some mint, cucumber. You can do a mint cucumber combo, some berries or frozen berries if you're starting to get bored with it. Another thing, sometimes I find, most of the time I'll just drink plain water. Room temperature I find is best too. I think we absorb the water best at room temperature. So but if you find, especially after workout, you want ice water, then that's fine too. But sometimes I'll add in a little bit of sea salt, and I find that I actually drink it a lot more quickly if there's a little bit of sea salt in there. If you put too much in, it's not very palatable. A little bit I find goes down quicker, and it might be because a lot of our water is kind of stripped of the minerals. We do better with water with some minerals in it, and sea salt has, it's 87 minerals within sea salt. So maybe that's why I just drink it up a lot more quickly. So that's another tip. If you find you're struggling to get water down, you could add some sea salt, see if that helps. Some cues, so some triggers. One I said was having the water bottle either out on your counter or having a water bottle on the go, always with you, filled up. Just seeing that is a really good trigger or cue. As we said yesterday in day 1, it's so important to have a cue or a trigger with all of your habits. Another tip or cue is to have your water bottle or water jug out on the counter, put it out at night, have it sitting there so when you wake up in the morning you see it. That's the first thing you see. Another cue for me, I'll tell you what's worked for me. So I used to always wake up and the first thing I would do is just drink coffee. Then I realized, this is about like 6 years ago, I realized drinking water in the morning is so important for your health, having like a full glass. So I was consciously made an effort to every morning drink that big glass of water before I had coffee. So now as soon as I wake up in the morning, most of us have like a morning routine, and like we'll go and turn the coffee on or whatever. So as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is I fill up my glass of water and start drinking that, and then I will get the coffee pot ready. By the time the coffee's made, if you have a Keurig, I guess it's a bit quicker, but by the time the coffee's made, usually I've finished that water. I love my coffee right away. Ideally, you might wait like half an hour before you have your coffee, but whatever works for you. So that's like brushing my teeth now, having my water first, and I notice a difference if I just go straight to coffee. I don't have as much energy, don't feel as great that day. So that's one cue that's worked for me. Another cue that I found that I didn't intentionally create this, when I'm preparing supper, so usually 5 o'clock I'll start preparing supper. Often I'll do a bit of prep and then throw it in the oven, bakes for half an hour, whatever I'm doing. But I find now while I'm prepping supper, and another thing, I'll prep my lunches and stuff for the next day. So while I'm doing that, that's usually when I remember to drink water. So that's kind of how it started. It's like, okay, I need to drink some water before I eat. Another quick tip, don't drink a bunch with a meal. That can dilute the stomach acid and you won't digest as well. So that was kind of my trigger. It's like, okay, I haven't drank enough water. I'm going to drink water while I'm preparing my food, preparing supper. And then I make sure I'm not drinking it like right before supper or with supper. But so now anytime I'm at my kitchen counter preparing supper, I automatically get a little bit thirsty, like my subconscious mind is taken over and I kind of crave a glass of water while I prepare it. So those are two examples where it's working, where I've got it added into my daily routine and where it's working. So figure out what's going to work for you. Use some cues, triggers. Another tip for a cue or a trigger is to, especially in the first couple of weeks, is to set up an alarm on your phone. I've got a friend, and I think she did this I think this was for water. And she would set it for, I don't know if it was for every hour, and then it's just like a little reminder, especially if you're at home, if you're in meetings and stuff like that, maybe it's not that great, but if you're at home, remind yourself every hour, like, oh yeah, I gotta drink some water. Other tips are track your amount of water. It's a lot more fun to reach a goal if you have a number in mind that you're trying to reach. So if you figure out how much, if you have a water bottle like this, figure out how much water is in that and how many of these you should drink per day. If you've got a 2-liter jug on the counter, try to have it so that's just your water, so that you can see how much you're drinking. That can really help. Like I said, drink between meals, not with meals. If you're having a few sips at your meal, that's not a big deal, but you don't want to. I used to try to do this. I would be drinking a bunch of water while I ate in order to try to feel full and to lose weight. That's before like years ago, that's what I would do. And now I realize that you don't digest as well. It's a lot better to drink more in between meals. So what I do first thing in the morning is super important to drink water. So I drink a full glass then. At night, as long as you don't have like a small bladder where you are going to have to wake up and go pee, drink some water at night before bed, and then in between meals. So I'm not sure what the actual numbers are. I think you want to stop drinking about at least 15 minutes before, and then after a meal, your stomach's full. You want to wait at least half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. Especially if it's a big meal, if it's snacks or stuff, it's not as big of a deal, but you want to wait at least half an hour before you're chugging water back, because it'll just dilute that food and you won't digest as well, and that can lead to a lot of different things, tiredness, bloating, things like that. So I already mentioned adding flavor. I think that's about it. Post below, done. Once you've watched the video, once you've taken a look at the workbook, there's a couple of questions there. It just gets you to take a couple minutes to figure out how you're going to fit it into your day, some tips and tricks. So make sure you do that, write done, so that you're entered into the draw. Do that every day. Even better yet, add some of the cues that you're going to use below, so that it helps everybody out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.